Hi, everyone. Welcome. We are going to start in a few seconds. Just waiting for a few more people to join us. And thank you all for being here. I hope you are getting now familiar with the SciTalk. SciTalk is our webinar platform for today. And I will start by introducing myself. My name is Hila, and I'm the Chief Marketing Officer at Blend Localization. I'm now talking to you from Israel, Tel Aviv, and I'll be joined by our speakers, Isha Sahu from NAS Daily team, the head of localization at NAS Daily, and Mike Ahurst, our own director of sales engineering and operations. Isha is joining us from Dubai, Mike is from Atlanta, and we are very, very excited to have you all with us.
Call you into like it's around 7 or something.
Guys, if you can just mute yourself on the SciTalk platform, it will be great. I think we should force mute. Just to show you a bit around here. So you see on the right-hand side, you have the feed of the event. So you can see who is joining us. You can see comments and questions. You have a few buttons below the main screen. So you can either type your thoughts and comments and everyone will see them. You can use the Ask the Host button to ask us questions. And you can take notes privately. No one will see these notes on the green button. You can always share your feelings with the emojis and show us how you feel about the content. And we will also ask you some questions during the webinar. So we hope you can, they said my voice goes in and out. Mike, do you hear me? Isha is.
I hear you loud and clear.
Loud and clear.
Yeah, we hear you loud and clear.
So I'm sorry about it. I hope it will get better. This is about SciTalk, and you'll see more as we move on. I think we are ready to start. I hope you'll use this functionality to communicate with us during the webinar. After the webinar, you will get a summary of all the feed, the notes, the slides, and also the video. So, and your notes will be in the summary too. So don't worry about it. You'll get it all together. Let me now just move to my first slide, hopefully. One sec here. Okay. So just in a nutshell, I will take 1 minute to tell you a bit about Blend. For those of you who are not familiar with us, Blend is a leading localization provider, and we are helping global brands to become natively local. We provide all types of localization for all types of media, both text and voice and video. And we do it with a very strong AI and tech capabilities, but an even stronger community of talents, voice actors, linguists, and translators. We really like to build specific workflows for our clients, and our focus is on gaming, e-commerce, e-learning, and also influencer marketing, but we work with all industries and verticals. We are here today to discuss influencer localization or content creation and taking it to global audiences, expanding your reach. At Blend, we work with lots of influencers. We do all the localization for all types of content, but mainly videos for this type of audience. We have a very large selection or catalog of voice actors in all languages. As you can see, more than 100 languages. We do both natural voice, which means human recording, and also AI voice, and you'll hear more about it at the end of this webinar. And we're really proud of being one-stop shop. So we do all the process from the transcription to the translation, post-production, and providing you with the full product in a very seamless way. And this is really in a nutshell about Blend. Feel free to ask us questions. And if you can't hear me, you just need to turn on the audio. So go to the audio button and turn it on. And someone will answer you also in the chat, I guess. And with that, I want to start. I want to introduce you to Isha. Isha is we are very honored to have you with us today, Isha. Isha is the head of localization for the NAS Daily company. And I'm sure you're all familiar with NAS Daily, but if you're not, you will be in a few minutes. Isha has more than 15 years of experience, and she is helping NAS Daily go global with many, many languages and markets. And she's here to share with us the success story and all the insights and tips of how they made it, how it happened, and how they measure their success. And I hope you'll find it interesting, and feel free to ask Isha questions. We'll see your questions and we'll answer the questions as we go. Isha, the stage is yours. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sheila. This is an amazing opportunity for me to have this case study present with you. I'll just give a brief introduction about myself. I'm Isha. I've been in the localization industry for almost 15 years. I have primarily worked with startups in various growth stages, coming from different industries like IT, finance, media, automotive, and I've been in Dubai for almost 3 years now, and I'm helping NAS Daily, which is one of the topmost influencer in the social media industry, to go global using our localization techniques. And we are currently helping NAS Daily with their video localization in over 15 plus language. Hila, you will be, can you move to the next slide? That would be great.
Yes.
Before we go ahead and I introduce what we did not do, I would definitely like to give you a brief introduction about who is the creative genius behind NAS Daily. So Nusar Yassin, who you usually see in the NAS Daily hosting the videos, was working with Venmo. He was almost like a year working with Venmo when he decided that he didn't want to do what he was doing and he wanted to find a purpose in his life. And that's when he embarked on making a 1 minute videos for the next 1,000 days. And during those times, there was not much videos, content creation kind of videos which were coming on platforms like YouTube or Facebook. And he started his journey with Facebook, and he did the 1,000 days. And there were not much viewership which was coming across the videos that he was making. And Facebook was aware of it. And all of a sudden, somewhere around day 610, 609 is when the Facebook algorithm particularly changed for Nusai Yassin and for NAS Daily. And that's when we started to go viral. And that is the birth story of NAS Daily. And since then, we have grown from a handful of a couple of people, like 3-4 people, Nusar and his friends, making videos, to currently a team of 150 people. And we run across multiple companies and sister companies across NAS Daily and NAS IL. Hila, if you could go to the next slide.
Sure. You want?
So this is a small video. I think we can play it. So it just give you a perspective about how Nusar actually started his journey of making videos.
You're trying to get this to be awkward?
Maybe. Is this shit working?
I don't know.
I have no clue why I'm doing this, but I think it'll be fun. Here's the idea. Once a day, I'm gonna make one video that's 1 minute long. That's it.
In New York City, off to Egypt today, Kenya, Ethiopia, India, then Nepal, then Japan, and then all the way to San Francisco, and then back home to New York City.
Coming with me is one drone,
One heavy camera, one GoPro.
Venmo tees, and coaching line.
The world is a book, and those who do not travel read only one page. Jokes. Let's do this. That's day one. See you in Egypt tomorrow.
This was pretty awkward video, but since then, since the day we went viral, we have worked really hard on the content production selection, and every day till now, we are close to reaching 300 million audience annually. Our local pages in different countries are currently handling and reaching out to 1 billion audience across the globe. We generate 100% organic views. We do not do any kind of boostings or any kind of ad revs that we run across the pages. We do not do that. All our videos are 100% organic, and we kindly close to around 20 billion views in English and our local pages. And this has something inspired a very, very creative way of storytelling, which is where, if you come across content creators, they will be telling you that this content is being spoken as a NAS daily way. So there is this need for content creation, and then we do it the NAS daily way, where the videos are 100% organic. We select stories across people, profiles, technology, food, relationships, and we bring all of these stories in different formats, like 1 minute, 3 minutes, 6 minutes, 12 minutes, across different platforms, and in the most creative way. And we actually reach all our population, all the audiences, subscribers, through the organic views. So this is what we have. We have got 64 million followers, maybe more than that. When we created this slide, we had 64, but I think we currently have around 70 million followers across all our pages, including English, across all platforms. And moving forward, I would like to also give you a brief of how we started on the localization
Hey
journey.
guys, big news. I am changing the name NAS Daily. It's going to be called NAS Weekly. Let me explain. 6 years ago, I started NAS Daily and made a 1-minute video every day for 1,000 days. My goal was to travel the world and share it with you. But now, my goal in life is different. It's to build a 1,000-person company that can do so much more impact than just me. So, I want to share this journey with you. How we're building the company, how we make money, how we build products, how we hire, how we fire. Every week, I am committing to a 1-minute video about NAS Company for the next 52 weeks. I hope our journey inspires you to build your own journey. That's 1 minute about the company. See you next week.
It's an amazing video. And just a brief about how our localization journey started. So somewhere right before COVID started, we moved, Nasir formulated the NAS Daily company, and he moved his headquarters to Singapore. And that's where we had a couple of people, like 5, 6 people, storytellers, story script writers and editors. We were writing stories, and we were, kind of writing literally English stories. But when we were there in Singapore and we met a lot of people out there, they said that, why don't you reach out to people who do not understand English? And that is when we decided that instead of just doing our stories in English, we would also be doing these stories in other languages. And since we were headquartered in Singapore, it made it a lot easier for us to start off with really easier markets to get into. And we started off with mostly Asian languages like Urdu and Indonesian, Malay, Tagalog, Thai. And instead of doing dubbing, we decided to go ahead and do subtitling. And just as when we were starting a localization program, that is when the COVID happened and the entire market stopped. But since everyone was inside, so we saw a huge rise, exponential rise in the viewership of our content, and that gave us the conviction, and that gave us the boost that path that we had chosen to do the localization in so many languages was the right one, and we wanted to reach out to more people. And somewhere around 2020, when the borders start to open, so we we kind of created our second headquarters in UAE, Dubai. And from here on, we started to reach out to more languages from the Middle East, like Turkish and Arabic. And we also started to dabble into certain European languages like Polish, Italian, Spanish. And as of this year, we are currently functioning approximately in all of the geographies. If you see at least the top 15 languages spoken across the world, we have presence in approximately 10 or 11 of those languages, including Russian, Spanish, Portuguese, Japanese, Chinese, and Arabic and Bahasa. So our localization journey has been extremely fulfilling. And we are also, again, focused on bringing these stories that we tell, different stories we tell in different languages through the process of subtitling or dubbing. And we are focused on growing their communities and experiences worldwide. If you go to the next slide, it would be good.
Sure. We have a question, Isha. We can answer it at the end if you prefer, but the question is, did you enter each new market one by one or a few markets in parallel? Do you remember?
Yes, we do. We do. That's an amazing question because when you are doing, especially the APAC markets, and certain languages have overlap with each other when it comes to diction, accent, and linguistics. So it was easier for us to do 2 to 3 languages in the Asian market parallelly because we knew that the audience's taste, we knew what the audience wanted. And so it was easier for us to start languages like Bahasa, Thai, and Vietnamese together. And so that's how we went. We did not go just one-on-one. It was, since it was an easier market, we decided that we would club 2 to 3 languages at the same time, understand how the market works, and understand what kind of content is being consumed by each of these markets. So we went parallelly with 2, 3 languages at the same time.
Great, thank you.
And if you can see, these are some of the different kinds of stories that we actually brought together. So since everyone knows about Kabilami and no one had actually seen him or heard him speak before, and we did this video as we simultaneously did this video in English and 14 languages. And this video alone got us 100 million views. And the other story, which is doing surprisingly extremely good in Japanese page, is the Forest Man of India. We shot this story completely on remote during the COVID times. And this story is still so relevant that has been doing amazingly well. So we have got, on Instagram alone, we have got 500K views for Japanese. And if we collect all the platforms together for this language, it is close to 1 million. And not many people actually are aware of Sealand. And we did a collaborative story with the government of Sealand. It's just 2, 3 people who call them the Sealand government, Sealand country. And this video alone, only on Russian pages, has done 20 million plus views. So you can understand, and all of these stories are dubbed and subbed. So you can understand that the market for non-English speakers is huge. And when the content is done right, and when the stories are done right, and there's enough hook in the stories, the content is consumed by these non-English speakers amazingly well. So this is what we are doing right now. All our content is currently being localized. We do not produce, but we localize all this content in 15 to 20 languages simultaneously.
Thank you, Aisha. We have here a question from Aisha Hammer. Do you create single source content, then localize for all marketplaces, or do you work with native speaking storyteller directly for specific local content per marketplace?
That's a very good question. So our focus right now, since the day we started NAS Daily, and since we have diversified into multiple branches of businesses, our focus is very outward. So instead of just getting the stories from the local markets and just producing them for a very specific locale, we actually produce global content, which is then repurposed or produced at the same time in all the languages and then pushed towards these locales. So we are not doing it's very centric or country centric or region centric stories. We have a very diversified storytelling and story the ideation process that actually brings about all the stories coming from these regions. And we have a very outward approach right now. Currently, for the next 2 to 3 years, that is what we are looking at, to bring the stories from the English channels to the other locales. So we are not looking at currently finding out stories from local areas, like local regions, like Asian regions, and then pushing them only on these channels. Hopefully somewhere down the line, maybe 2 or 3 years after, when we have enough media presence, then we may be able to do it.
All right. Okay, we'll move forward.
Yes. So this is something which we come across, whenever we are starting like localization program for any company, any product. We always have certain goals. What is it that you want to achieve from a localization program, or what is it that you want to get out of doing all of this? So our goal was very clear when we started this localization program back in 2019, and it's still relevant for us in 2023 and 24. That we wanted to explore and grow more in non-English speaking countries. We wanted to create a brand awareness to organic content. We didn't want to do any kind of marketing videos, ad centric videos that would go viral. We wanted to create a brand awareness through organic storytelling. And off lately, now we have also been trying to explore into more developed geographies, more economically stable geographies, so that our portfolio of languages is very unique, is diversified, and we have organic presence in almost all the major countries in the world.
Amazing. Do you want to watch this video?
I think it would be good, because this is why we localize. This is the video that tells us why Messiah wants to localize into different languages.
For the first time ever, I am going to answer the question, why do I talk so slow? So slow. Because of my mom and my dad. Yes, both my parents are the reason I sound like this. They do not speak English. And turns out there are billions of people around the world just like my parents who do not speak English as a first language. So many people talk fast without caring about the person listening. And I decided this is not going to be Nas Daily. Nas Daily is for the world. It's for the United States and New Delhi at the same time. So, the next time you talk to the world, not just to people who sound like you. That's 1 minute about the company. See you next week.
I love this video too. Just
Yes,
wanted-
yes, it's an amazing
For the
video.
first time ever, I am
Sorry.
Let's go to the next slide. And that's when we started to do the localization program. We started off with primarily subtitle videos, because our audience for the Asian market was someone who wanted to learn English, but they also wanted to understand what is being spoken. So we decided to go ahead in subtitles. But with subtitles, you can only reach a percentage of audience. And around 2022, at the start of 2022, we decided that it is time for us to actually start exploring the concept of dubbing and see how it actually works. So we had two options in front of us to, go ahead and do the AI way, or we do it ourselves, or we onboard a particular team that is actually, expertise. They have the expertise in this area and they know what they're doing. And fortunately for us, a blend was the answer. We were looking for 2-3 partners at the same time, and the one which stuck out the most was for us for blend. And the best part was that when we started to connect with the team and it started to share what Messiah is like, how his voice is, how his persona is, what kind of voice would suit the best, what kind of actor would suit the best. The blend team came up with an amazing solutions. And they gave us voices which were curious, which had high energy, and just replicated persona of Messiah completely well. So that was what we looking for casting consideration when we decided to onboard blend team with us. Can we go to the next slide?
Thank you for the kind word. So,
and when we decided to go ahead and go head on with the dubbing program, we were very clear. We had several meetings with the blend team, and we decided that what would be the KPI for us when we were doing the dubbing. So there is no set KPIs, templates or PDFs available in the market which tell you like how social media dubbing should be done, or how an influencer should measure their success rates when it comes to localization. So we had to depend a lot on our own experiences. We have to depend upon what we were watching in front of us, how the content was being consumed, and based on that, we came across certain KPIs. The number one was views. Was the content being watched by people? How much was it watched? Like people were just swiping up, or they were watching like 15 seconds or 30 seconds or the entire video. what kind of audience were we targeting and what kind of audience was actually getting hooked to our content, and whether the content was converting into subscribers for us. I'm like, they were not just people who were just watching our videos and not subscribing to us, because were we able to entice enough interest in the audience and the diversity in the audience. We didn't want, a particular set of people only to come over. So, for example, take for example Russian. We didn't want just the Russian speakers from the Russian Federation to just watch our videos. We also wanted people across all over the world who are Russian speakers to watch our videos. So that was one. And what kind of content type they wanted to watch? Was it short video? Was it long video? And what content could possibly go viral? And the last but not the least was our community building. What do you do when you have enough subscribers and enough audience? Do you build a community? How much do you engage with them? Is the engagement has to be top to bottom, or it just or we want to listen to what our audience wants? So all of this we discussed with the team, and these were the 5-6 KPIs that we finalized, and we still are working on these KPIs and building our strategies around it. Can we go to the next slide, Hila?
Mhm.
And as I was talking to you about content type and virality, so Russian channel, when we started way back in 2022, was started as just a shorts channel, 59-second videos across all platforms, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. And, it took us close to 120 days for our videos to get caught in the algorithms of different of these platforms and go viral. And once it went viral, there was no stopping back. And since then, we have been able to garner close to 2.5 million followers across all our platforms on Russian. And the amazing thing is that once we started to do that, we realized that the content coming to us for our Russian audience was just 1 minute. And we started to get a lot of community feedback and engagements that we should also be producing the long form of content for the Russian audience. And that's when we started to figure it out what kind of content would do best with the Russian audience. And we focused on, technology, we focused on client videos, we focused on relationships, we focused on eating disorders. And I mean, like we got, hundreds and thousands of views. Usually long form content, we were very skeptical about working, with dubbing. We were very skeptical whether it's going to work, but all of these videos that we have on Russian pages for the long form content has been doing amazingly well. YouTube alone, all 3 videos combined has got approximately 1 million views all in between all these 3 videos. So we saw an amazing market product fit, and that's how it started off. And can we just skip to the next 2 slides? So this is a 1-year story of a Russian channel. So our Russian channel has got close to now 1.5 billion views. We have a watch time only for shorts for 13.2 million hours. We have 2 million plus subscribers, and we average close to 8 million views daily on all our platforms, which is an amazing feature. And we have a diverse speaking audience. Our audience does not just come from Russian Federation, it comes from across all the Russian speaking countries. So we have got Poland, Germany, Russia, Kazakhstan, Georgia, Armenia, Ukraine, Tajikistan. I'm like, the diversity of the audience is amazing. So for us, it was a check in all the KPIs when we were localizing for the Russian channel. Can we go to the next slide? Yeah. And when we had this same success story with Russian, I would like to tell you that along with Russian, we were also simultaneously started Japanese. They were 2 very different markets. We didn't know about Russian, how Russian is going to perform, but what we did know about Japanese was that it's going to be a difficult market for us to enter. And yes, it took us close to 200 days to go viral. At least got the visibility in the Japanese platforms. But once we got the visibility, there has been no stopping. We have close to 60,000 followers in 12 months across different platforms. And by different platforms, I mean, we are on YouTube, we are on Instagram, we are on Facebook, we are on Twitter, as well as we are on TikTok. And we have close to 30 million viewership till now. Till from the time we started the Japanese channel, we averaged like 100K views daily, and our audience, 93% of our audience across all the platforms comes only from Japan. So we knew that the Japanese audience, we knew the Japanese speakers across the globe are focused more towards Japan. And for us, it was something which we didn't know. For us, we didn't know whether we would be able to make it, but the numbers speak for themselves. For again, for Japanese, our KPI was like check, check, check. It meets all our points. And fortunately, we have been quite successful in the Russian market and Japanese market, and the numbers share their stories. Can you go to the next slide?
Yeah, Isha, we have a question here. I don't know if you want to answer it now. So the question is from Karen again. How do you engage with, how do you manage engagement with followers that speak Russian if you have some Russian speaking people on your team?
Yes. Very good. It's a very good question. And definitely when you are going, from the outwards to the inwards of the strategy, you have to involve local team members to help you with your strategy. I cannot have an English speaker or someone who knows Russian or someone who knows Japanese to engage with the audience that sits and lives in that country. So yes, our social media managers, as we call it, engagement or channel managers, they are native and they work and they engage with the audience sitting from their own country. So we do not have someone who's sitting outside of those countries. We have social media managers and channel managers and community builders who sit in these countries and help us engage with our audience. We have weekly meetings with them. We have monthly meetings with them. We also sometimes pivot on a strategy based on the feedback that we get from the engagement strategy that we have employed with these channel managers. I hope this answers the question.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you for sharing that.
This is just a couple of thoughts and tips which we have kind of gathered from the localization program that we have run till now. Localization is a lot more cost effective than doing complete original new production from scratch. This is what we have seen with a number of other channels as well. Sometimes I do get a lot of feedback from our community engagers that this is a 3-minute video and have shortened it to just 1 minute, and how will it have an impact? So the storytelling has to be something which is very, very important, key and hooked to it. So you might localize a lot of videos, but not every video will work, and you have to be aware that the kind of mission that you are on, or if there's a particular vision that you have for a channel, I want to go global, I want to go viral, you have to select your content very, very precariously. You have to be very thoughtful when you select your content. Is it going to be 1 minute? Am I going to do just vlogs? I'm going to do podcasting. Am I going to do 3 minutes, 15 minutes? So that content selection, content frequency is very, very important. And like the third point is very, very, it's a common knowledge that no strict translations actually work. You have to work with your native resources. You have to work with your native team to create the adaptation of the script right in the right way that would be consumed by your audience, which is in the different countries. So if you do like a simple translation, you expect people to stay and hooked with your translations. No, they won't. So you have to understand that it is creative adaptation, creative translation, and not just simple translation. And if you are focused mostly into creating a content and you don't know much about how localization works, so instead of going experimenting it with it and then losing time and energies and your resources, I would suggest that instead of going that way, it would always make a lot of effort into finding the right partner. For us, Russian, Japanese, and quite a few other languages which we did with Blend, we had no idea about it, how to do. And we were looking for a lot of partners to work with. And we decided that instead of going around and doing a lot of partners, different partners, why don't we just centralize our workflow in such a way that we work only with one team that has the experience and has the expertise in these languages, and then take it forward. So it is important to always select the right resources, select the right partners to work with, and always make sure that you're working with a sustainable speed. So if you think that if you're going to create 2 videos or going to localize 2 videos and then you want your channel to go viral, no, it doesn't work that way. You have to be consistently creating these content. You have to consistently localize and put out this content in such a way that it gets caught in the algorithms of these platforms. And you have to give it time. If you think that I'll do 30 days of content creation and content localization and go viral. In fact, the site also took like 610 days to go viral. So and you have to understand how these platforms and algorithms work, and then create your content cadence accordingly. So this is what we have done till now. That sustainability is what will take you at great place. If there's something from the Blend team, if they have any thoughts and tips, most welcome. I think, Hilal, this is what we wanted to share.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is some of the impact of the content, community engagement and feedback that we get from our audience. So, and we highlight these, we have a wall in our office that highlights these comments, and we take these comments very, very seriously, and we make sure that not only our local team, but also our entire teams across different companies are aware what the impact these localization and these videos are making to our audience. So this feedback is what keeps us going, and this impact is something which tells us that we are going in the right direction.
Great. Thank you, Isha. It's very, very interesting. We have, I think we have one question left to answer from the audience. In a second, you will I'll be able to read it to you. I think the question was about measurement, and if you have an AI tool to measure the impact of localization. It says AI, machine learning based program that you run the content into, or is it more a review process?
We don't have AI models yet to look into the KPIs and measurements of it. The platforms that we have, like YouTube and Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram, their own creator tools and their own analytics are so deep and they're so effective that it gives us like flashpoint, and it just gives us the information that we need. And yes, we do have a percentage cutoff that we look for every week, every month. How much is our content being reached? So if for example we've got 100K subscribers, and our videos are being watched by say 10K subscribers, so we know that there's a gap of there's a gap of 90K subscribers who are not watching our videos. So we know that this kind of content is not working. So you have to be always on the toes, looking at the platforms and the metric system, whether it's CTR, click-through rates, whether it's TNs, thumbnails, whether it's the audience engagement rate, drop-off rate, and the completion rate. Completion is like someone who had actually watched your entire video. How much is it? Is it like 1% of your subscriber base, or is it 3%, 5%? So there are different matrices coming for different kind of industries. Since we are into travel, people, and into edutainment, like education and entertainment, so our industries have different kinds of CTRs available and different KPIs, especially coming from YouTube and different Facebooks. But for different kind of content, for example, gaming industry or coming for e-learning, it would be very, very different. So that's how we do it.
Thank you so much, Isha. Stay with us as we move to hear some tips from the Blend team about the process itself and best practices and how we work together. So Mike Hayrast will take it from here. Hey, Mike.
Sounds great. Thanks, Hila. Thanks for the introduction. And Isha, thanks for a great presentation so far. It was great collaborating with Isha and Nas Daily over the last year on just localizing their channels and helping them grow and reach their goals. I'd like to deep dive the process that we used for Nas Daily in upcoming slides, but first let's play a couple of samples of when you combine localized subtitles and voiceover into what they've done already.
This is the rarest passport in the world.
Существует только 500 человек, кто обладает им.
Yes, in Japan, kids as young as 6 years old walk to school alone.
Ездят на автобусах одни и в поездах одни.
In Cambridge, United Kingdom, this scientist built the biggest hard drive in the world, and he made it using DNA.
Его работа требует, чтобы он загружал сотни терабайт данных. Тогда он понял, что на его компьютере очень скоро закончится свободное место.
Awesome. And that just shows you the power of adding localization into a video like this, and we'll deep dive like all the things that go into making a video like this, which is quite a number of steps. Just to deep dive our voiceover production process, big thing for us is that every time we work with really any company, but especially an influencer like Nas Daily, is they always get a project manager to engage with from start to finish. When it comes to working with an influencer, we find it really important to especially with Nas Daily, who's delivering a video to their audience 1 minute every single day, is making sure we have a lot in the pipeline to be able to deliver large batches to them so they can be fulfilling their channel. So it becomes very much a quick timing type of thing, because if we run out of content, then they can't be delivering to their channel. So we start with a project manager that is engaging with them from start to finish, who then enters that order. And it's really important to have a script for every single one of the videos that is record ready. So making sure that it's ready to go for the engineer in session and for the voice actor to read that script, and everything can be done in a timely manner. So when we get into the voice production side of it, it's very important, and I'll cover casting in a later slide, but it's really important to have casted a professional voice actor. And I think we mentioned earlier in the presentation that Blend has 2,000 plus voice actors that we work with in over 100 languages. So we were able to give Isha some different voice actors to listen to for their particular channels. We want to make sure that their studio is vetted as well. So we like to work with a professional studio with an isolation booth, has a large diaphragm condenser microphone, and all the necessary professional equipment to reach the professional recording that you just listened to in the last sample. And then every in session gets an audio engineer who's skilled at the digital audio workstations and understanding signal noise ratios and all of that good stuff. We actually have studios that we record into here in Atlanta, but we also have partner studios all over the world, because we realized many years ago that it was important to have studios in different countries so we can reach a broader audience and have local teams. So moving into the editing piece of it, we always edit. Oh, let's actually go back one. Sorry. Moving into the editing piece of it, we're always editing with the application in mind. If it's going to be just a static recording, if it's going to be synced to a video, making sure that the spacing is correct, and working with voice actors. Some of them have different levels of mouth noises that can come through the recording, so we make sure we edit all that out so it's completely polished. And of course, we have a QA team who listens to the recording, making sure it's correct up against the script, and then it gets delivered in any format that the end customer needs. Usually when working with influencers, they're looking for either a WAV or an MP3, high quality MP3 file. So we can move on to the next slide. So just to touch on more specifically the video localization process. So we always love to start with the source video files and then a time-coded script that goes to the video. And we have clients that'll provide that script sometimes, but Blend can also transcribe that and get that into a perfect time-coded document. Sometimes it's an SRT file, sometimes it's an Excel or something along those lines. But we want to start with those assets before we move into translation. And really through all of these steps, we have humans in the loop at any given time. So if for the most part with this, AI is not used, but if it ever is, we always have a human in the loop to verify what's happening with the AI. So we do have a human translator. And then most importantly, when it comes to, and Isha touched on adaptation earlier in the presentation, adaptation of the language is incredibly important, especially with the very quick 1 minute videos. So if you take an English 1 minute video and then you localize that to, or translate that text one for one to, let's say, German, for example, that can really expand into maybe a minute and 10 seconds, minute and 20 seconds. But the key is to make sure we get it within that minute. So we have to adapt that text to ensure that it fits within that English video and that it doesn't sound too fast so that the audience doesn't understand what's being read. So once we have that, then we can get into voice recording and getting into the studio. But in the middle of that, we're working on voice casting. So Isha mentioned the importance of when we worked with their team to cast the appropriate voice actors for the different languages. So we wanted to make sure that we found voice actors with, besides a pro studio, but had the right characteristics to match the on-screen English talent, to make sure that it's close to what the audience is used to. And so once we have that script, we go into voice recording, and this allows the voice actor, because the script has been adapted, it allows the voice actor to read at a normal pace and not have to rush through it. Same thing with the editing. I had mentioned that we make sure that we're taking out any extraneous noises in the recording, make sure the spacing is correct, make sure the timing to the video is correct. And then once we have that all lined up, we then apply it to the video, make sure it gets mixed with music and sound effects that may be already existing from our influencer client, or maybe it's something that we create on our end. And if subtitling is required, we then lay in those subtitles as well, usually from an SRT file, to make sure that it's all synced up properly and plays during the various video cues in the media. So, and then really, and from there we can deliver in any format. MP4 is usually the favorite when it comes to working with influencers, although we can really deliver in any format that a client requires. So we can move on to the next slide. Just comparing voice actors and AI voices. So Blend does work with both. We have, like I mentioned, we have over 2,000 voice actors that we work with, and we actually have a library of thousands of different AI voices that we can work with as well. And so we work with customers that are always trying to decide, and influencers as well, as when to use voice actors and when to use AI. It all usually comes down to that particular influencer's budget, what type of content that they're trying to convey or trying to read. Is their content really emotive, or is it short form? Is it long form? We find that using a voice actor is really conducive for anything really creative or anything has lots of emotion, because AI cannot really duplicate what the speaker on screen is conveying if they're incredibly emotional on screen. So we love to use voice actors for that. And also we have studios that you can connect to via Zoom or Skype to actually listen to the recording session with the voice actor and direct them into the exact performance that you're thinking about. And voice actors can be more economical than most people think. I think most people think that they're very expensive, but we have voice actors that range in different price points and can be very economical depending on what your goals are. For AI voices, if you have something that's a little bit more long form and a little bit less emotive, a little bit more narration style, it could be a very good economical option, especially for influencers who are wanting to get your channel up and running and getting lots of videos posted in a faster time frame. We can move on to the next slide. So I just want to touch on really quick. So we actually we have some influencers who are very interested in cloning their voice into different languages. So this is something that we've been doing in the last few months, and we're really excited about it. And we've worked with some who have kind of taken the next step with this. But is the influencer who has a brand, they understand what their sound is, and they want to keep that same brand throughout the different languages, will actually clone their voice into different languages so that they can keep that same sound and style throughout their different channels. And of course, again, this only really works if it's a little bit more narration style, you can have a little bit of emotion with AI, and that's getting better every day, actually. But and we can play you a sample of a talent that we cloned, and then these are some different lines that they've read. So we can just play this video, Hila.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's a long pause in the beginning.
That's the cloning.
Yep, just come up in a second.
TeenConnectionAustin.com, and let's hit the road to a happier you. Join us at TeenConnectionNashville.com, and let's hit the road to a happier you. Join us at TeenConnectionCharlotte.com, and let's hit the road to a happier you. Join us at TeenConnectionMinneapolis.com, and let's hit the road to a happier you.
So that just shows you an example of when it's a little bit more narration style, you can clone the voice and actually do same language or different languages using that same style because that's what your audience is more familiar with. So and we can go to the next slide.
I think that's it.
Yeah. Any questions?
Now is a good time to ask Mike some questions.
I guess I covered everything, huh?
Yeah. Maybe, Mike, maybe you can tell us, like, the casting process. Is it something that is like with Isha? Was it a long process, quick process? Did you find the voice you were looking for quickly? Isha, you can answer too. Just curious to know.
Yeah, Isha, we did this about a year ago, I think. It was fairly quick. We didn't go through too long of a process, and we didn't go through too many actors. We actually found, because on our side we do try to put forth actors that we feel like can emulate the person on screen. So we gave her some pretty good options, I believe, and then they actually picked fairly quickly.
Yes, yes, absolutely. For Nas Daily, you know, when we are making videos every day, so like we had this option of starting off like a couple of weeks after, but for us it was like go go go. We have the strategy, we have the KPIs. Let's go go go. So I think we relied on Blend's experience, and they actually gave like very good shortlisted voices, and it was very quick for us. Like in a couple of days, we were like finalized with the female and male voices. So it was barely like I think 1 or 2 emails exchanged, and it was final for us.
Okay, we have one more question. How long did the process typically take? I guess, Karen, you're talking about localizing a video. Mike, do you want to talk about time that it takes?
Yeah, when you're looking at a single video, you know, it can take something along the lines of, I'll just say a business week. But really, the most important thing to keep in mind with influencers is when we're starting a channel, we want to get a batch of maybe 10 to 20 videos or even more to really get that assembly line going. So we want a nice 2-week lead time to get those localized, go through that process so that we can be delivering videos to them on a consistent basis every week. And that's really becomes the key for influencers.
Yes, absolutely. I would just like to add that when you are starting a new channel and you already have a certain English videos, like a bunch of 150 videos, and you want to start with the production and you want to start a channel, I think it's much better that, you know, when you give a batch of like 20, 30 videos in advance, you also have a content cadence, like a content calendar that is actually goes to the team who is working with you, so that at least they know that which video is going up on which date. And that actually also helps them to, you know, move around with the production timelines and the delivery timelines. And that also gives you know, an influencer the flexibility that if there's a certain video which is still in process and has not been delivered, but there's another video of similar similar content type that can go up, then also the, you know, the influencer can actually go around and, you know, make some changes to their content calendar and post it. So I think a lot of it actually depends upon how well the influencer and the team who is working with them, they coordinate with each other and communicate. And in this, I think a content cadence, a content flow actually helps the production team a lot. And I think we did that with Mike, you and your team also. We had a proper tracker, we had a content cadence, and we gave it to you, like these are the top 20 videos you want to, start off the video channel with. And that's how we worked with Blend, that we gave them. And I think under a week or so, we would get, a staggered delivery of a couple of videos every now and then for us to go and post.
Great. Sounds like a great strategy. With that, I really want to thank you guys, to thank you, Isha and Mike, for the insights and for sharing your experience with us. Everyone that is here with us, feel free to reach out to us. We will be happy to talk, to explain, to let you try out our service. We have some special offers for the webinar participants, some even free offering. So be in touch with us. These are our emails if you want to contact Isha or if you want to contact Blend. And have a great rest of the day or evening. Happy holidays, and thank you for joining us. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for having me. Take care. Have a great day, guys.
Thank you.